Alright, good morning guys. Finally getting around to another video here. I know it's been quite a while since I've promised you guys several videos but never delivered, and I apologize for that. But I've been wanting to do this for a little while, give you guys a tour of my 2001 Honda Civic EX. I purchased this in October of 18. I'll give you guys some details of it, of the sale and everything here after a little bit. But really nice car. It when I bought it had 159,000 miles on it. Right now it's got 170. We did the head gasket, we did timing belt, just about everything that needs to be done to these vehicles periodically has been accomplished. Never thought I'd be a Honda owner myself, but let's see here. As I said before, 170,000 miles. We actually just this last weekend we did a fuel pump filter and strainer job on it, which was a little less than enjoyable, but it should last the rest of the life of the vehicle, hopefully. Honda says there's supposed to be about 100,000 mile filter, so we'll see. But engine bay looks really good. I try to keep it as clean as possible. Like I said, when I bought it, I went ahead and got a new battery just for safekeeping. We did the head gasket. The head gaskets on these 01 to 05s, for some reason they tend not to like to stick around over 100,000 miles. So we should get a lot of life out of that. And did the coolant hoses, did a Honda Blue coolant. And like I said, I've been driving it now. It's my daily, so I've been driving it now about 200 miles a day over to Buckeye and back. So it does pretty good for us. Like I said, new belts also. Pretty much everything that needed replaced was replaced on it. And it is the EX model, so it has the leather seats. Okay. For an almost 20-year-old car, you really can't complain too much. It's got power everything. This back window back here, passenger side doesn't work for some reason, but that's not too serious. I'm not real worried about that. I went ahead and put new Nexons on it. I don't know if you guys are a big fan of Nexons, but I personally enjoy the shit out of them. It's a cheaper tire, but they're a really good road tire. I'll go ahead and let you guys listen to it run for a minute. I still run the 520 oil in it. I also run a little bit of Lucas oil stabilizer in there as well. It runs like a champ. Nice and quiet. Valves were adjusted at the time we did the timing belt and everything, so should be good to go on that. Show you guys the system also. I'm one of those guys who can't go without a system in his vehicle. All the speakers are all Kenwood. I put all Kenwood speakers in it. Back speakers, door speakers and the subwoofers are all Kenwood, along with the deck here. Hope you guys like Steely Dan. But yeah, so we'll I'll cut to another clip of us going for a drive in the old car. Just wanted to kind of give you guys a brief overview here, since this car is getting up there in age and it's still nice. I figured some guys on YouTube might appreciate taking a look at it and seeing how I maintain my stuff. So we'll take it for a drive, and we'll be seeing you guys later. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, went ahead and broke the video in half a little bit. Went to Circle K and got me something to drink. I'll give you guys a driving video on the way home here. If you guys don't know, these are 4-speed automatic cars. Like I said earlier, pretty much everything on this car works besides the passenger side rear window, and a couple other little things that aren't even important enough for me to remember right now. But it's got this nice sunroof, which I'm not a big sunroof guy, so I'm not going to use it. They like to leak if you don't pay attention to them. Especially out here in the desert, the rubber will get worn out and will start leaking the more you use it. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But like I said, I paid $2,500 for the car originally. I bought it in Central Phoenix. I was toting both pieces. It was at 5th and Van Buren. If you don't know where that's at, look that up on the map. Pretty shitty area, okay? But $2,500 for the car. Found out later on the head gasket was a little bit blown in it. Unfortunately, it's pretty common in these Hondas that the head gasket goes bad in them after about between 100 and 150,000 miles. When I bought it, it had 159,000 on it. And so we got that dealt with. It was a really minor leak in the head gasket, but it was big enough to start pushing coolant out of the cap in the front. So couldn't have that. So I went ahead and had me and mechanic. We tore into it and got it done. Along with that, did the timing belt. We did all of the Honda blue coolant. Everything that you want to do on these, you want it all to be genuine Honda parts for some reason. These little Civics do not like accepting aftermarket parts for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's a Honda thing or what, but the Honda head gasket itself is pretty cheap. It's like 40 bucks for the head gasket, and it's a pretty nice little unit. Gives you some other gaskets, your EGR gasket, your exhaust intake manifold gasket, and replacing those, just good insurance as well. So they sell a whole kit that you can get, and there's a Honda Civic forum that you can go to that'll give you the same information. Other than that, like I said, I paid $2,500 for it. I got about 6,000 in it now. If you don't count the sound system and some other aesthetic upgrades, you're looking at about 5,000. So I put about $2,500 into it with the head gasket and the timing belt and some of the other repairs that we've done in the last. I think I've owned it for about 8 months now, 8 or 9 months. So it's a really nice car, drives good. On the way to Buckeye, I average about 80 miles an hour, and it gets 30 miles a gallon or thereabout at 80 miles an hour. Obviously, it does a little bit better at 70 miles an hour. But I never generally drive that slow, other than if I'm going from here to Chandler or something like that. But if I'm on I-8 or I-10, I'm doing 80 all the way, and it does it no problem. As far as the transmission goes, these BMX8 transmissions, they never had a very good reputation when they first came out with them. Later on in this model year series, 04, 05, they got a lot better. But this first year, 2001, the reviews on them were not good, and I tried to figure out why. It appears that transmission doesn't have a filter in it, it's not serviceable. So all you can do is change the fluid. And if you go a normal fluid interval, which is about 30,000 miles, you get all these metal shavings that accrue in the bottom of the pan, which is not good. Those get recirculated into the transmission and eventually lead to failure. So what I do is I go and I get the genuine Honda DW1 fluid. I change it every 10,000 miles. On the bottom of the transmission, where the plug's located, the plug itself has a magnetic end to it, so it collects all those shavings. So if you drain your fluid periodically enough and often enough, you're going to be able to get most of that stuff out before it gets reintroduced inside the transmission. So that's my plan now. I haven't had any issues out of the transmission at all. I just changed it about a couple thousand miles ago. So, and I drive it enough to where those shavings and stuff, even when I change the oil every 4,000 miles, which at the rate I'm driving now is every couple of months, if not sooner. So we try and knock those things out. I'm really big on preventive maintenance. But other than that, this car has not given me one lick of trouble, hasn't left me anywhere, and like I say, it does 80 miles an hour all day on the highway without even thinking twice. So I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of tour on that. If you guys are thinking about getting one of these vehicles in the future, shoot me a message. I can give you some pointers on how to install a system, do some other little maintenance things on the car. Next time I do an oil change, I'm thinking about doing a how-to video on it. I know there's a whole bunch of them that are out there, but one more wouldn't hurt from a different perspective, and we'll go from there. But going back up to the house now, and once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully it was a little informative to you if you guys are looking at getting one of these, or maybe you just like Hondas or just well-kept vehicles in general. But if any of those things hit your plate, appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys later.